Hello everyone, welcome back to Changfied YouTube channel. Welcome to our breaking news report in South Sudan. Today we bring you a dramatic and troubling story from Malakal in Upper Nile State, where violent clashes have erupted between the South Sudan People Defense Forces and the National Police this morning. The fighting has already claimed life, created panic among residents, and exposed deeper political division inside the country. But this story does not stop in Malakal alone. It connects directly to the wider national crisis, to the detention of opposition leader Dr. Machar, and to the growing influence of the newer spiritual leader Makuach, whose forces have been advancing despite government effort in Upper Nile. Let us take you step by step through what has happened, what it means, and why this situation is very dangerous for South Sudan's future. A report from Malakal confirmed that heavy gunfire was heard early this morning after a standoff between the SSPDF and the National Police. According to local source, the division commander of the SSPDF, South Sudan People Defense Force, stationed in Malakal, issued an order yesterday. His order was simple but controversial. He directed that the state police should be deployed to the front line to fight the advancing force of a very spiritual leader, Makuach. However, the police refused. They said no, they would not go to the front line. They did not obey the command according to the information. This defiance created immediate tension between the two forces. The following morning, soldiers of the SSPDF were sent to the police headquarters to force compliance, but instead of accepting the order, the SSPDF, the police resisted. Weapons were raised, argument turned to threat, and very soon gunfire broke out inside Malakal town. During this exchange of fire, one police officer was killed according to the information. The number of those injured is still unclear, but the clash created fear across the city. Civilians fled the area of fighting, business closed, and people locked themselves inside their home, according to information that was posted on social media. The incident showed the fragile relationship between the country-army situation. The police, who are supposed to protect citizens, and the SSPDF, the National Army. When those two bodies fight each other in broad daylight, ordinary people began to wonder, who will protect them? This confrontation in Malakal, well, is not happening in isolation. It tied to larger political and military struggle in South Sudan. At the heart of this crisis is the growing movement of the new spiritual leader, Makuach. His forces have been advancing, gaining followers, and putting pressure on the government. Instead of facing him through dialogue, the government has chosen to send security forces, both the police and the army, to stop him. But critics say this approach is wrong. They argue that fighting Makuach will not solve the problem. Instead, they say the government should focus on addressing the root cause of the conflict, the detention of opposition leader Dr. Machar. Dr. Machar, the first vice president of South Sudan and leader of the SPLIO, has now been under house arrest for 5 months. He has not been allowed to move freely. He has not been allowed to meet his supporters. In fact, for a long time, no one has been allowed to visit him, and his health condition remains unknown. Many within the Nuer community and also across the country are deeply worried about Machar's situation. They ask, is he safe? is held, is still able to play a role in politics. Activists say that Machar detention is illegal, unfair, and dangerous for peace process. They insist that keeping him under house arrest only increase anger, mistrust, and conflict in South Sudan. International voices from activists, organizations, and even some government have repeatedly called on President Salva Kiir Mayardit to release Dr. Riek Machar. They believe his freedom is the only way to open dialogue and to move toward lasting peace. Now, into this tense situation stepped the spiritual leader Makuach. In his latest public message, we all have read and listened to his message on the video that he recorded. Makuach was very clear. He said that he would not accept excuse. He demanded the release of Dr. Machar and others, political prisoners. He said in his own word, he will not take no for yes. For him, the release of Dr. Machar is not optional. It is necessary. Without it, he wanted peace in South Sudan will not be achieved. Without it, his force will not stop their advance. This statement is powerful because it links his growing military movement directly to the Machar detention. It sends a signal to the government as long as Dr. Machar remains under house arrest, fighting will continue and instability will spread across South Sudan. For ordinary people, this message brings both hope and fear. Hope because it shows that Machar release could unlock peace. Fear because it means if the government refuses, then violence will only increase. This situation in Malakal is a warning sign for the whole of South Sudan. When the National Army and the police fight each other, and when communities began to take sides, the risk of wider war becomes very real. Observers say the government is now facing two choices. One choice is to continue using force, sending soldiers and police to fight Makuach. But this path will only lead to more death, more division, and more destruction. The second choice is dialogue. That means listening to what communities are asking for. That means releasing Dr. Riek Machar, engaging in talk, and opening a path toward peace. The world is watching. Activists, human rights groups, and regional leaders have already spoken out. They argue President Kiir to take the right step to release Dr. Riek Machar and to avoid more bloodshed within the country. Today, fighting in Malakal is more than a local incident. It is a reflection of a larger crisis in South Sudan. The death of one police officer is tragic, but it also highlights a deep problem. The country leaders are relying on force instead of finding a political solution. Makuach's demand is clear. He has tied his movement to the release of Dr. Machar. He has made it a condition for peace. If the government ignores this, then the situation could become even more dangerous, not only in Upper Nile but across the nation. For 5 months now, since March 26, 2025, Dr. Machar has been under house arrest, unseen and unheard. His release may be the only key that can open the door to peace. As we close this report, the question remains, will the government listen, or will South Sudan continue down the path of fighting, division, and war? We will continue to monitor development in Malakal and across the country. Stay with us for updates as this story unfolds. If you are new to this channel, I would like you to help me by subscribing and do not forget to hit the notification bell. So when I upload a new video, you can be notified. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.